The 1970 Mustang. Gotta be one of the favorites of all time. Maybe arguably, I love the 65s, but you can't not love a Mach 1, especially when it's a grabber green color. What's really cool about this is the power plant. So I'm excited to jump in and talk about this ride with the owner, Steve. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab him so we can tell you all the details of this build.
Well, it was a barn find, and I think the 1970 and 1969 Mustangs were the nicest body style they ever had. And I think grabber green is the nicest color they ever had. So that's the reason for the color, and that's the reason for the body style.
With it being a barn find, tell us a little bit about the condition it was when you got it, because the picture over there in the booklet, oh my gosh, the difference.
The guy that found it is the guy that I used to do all my automotive work, and he says, I got this 70 Mach 1 that can be a really nice car. So I said, okay, what does he want for it? They said he wants 10 grand. I said, that's not bad. Parts were in the car, the hood, the doors, everything was inside the car, tied down to bring it back.
Could you see the vision of the car when you first got it?
This kid is real talented. I give the kid credit, he's 32 years old. He knows what he wants to do in life. I mean, you look at the fit and finish on this car, it's amazing.
Yeah.
And the kid don't let it out of his shop unless it's right. So I was blessed with a good guy and a good body shop guy. And then, you know, you see, oh, in 2 hours they build a car on TV. Well, this is 5 years from the start.
Wow.
And we're still not done.
If you've been watching the channel, you know we love our Coyotes. And so having a Coyote in here just makes my day. Obviously, this is not going to be an easy fit. So tell us how you had that going in here.
Well, naturally, everybody says, oh, you just drop the Coyote in and then plug and play. No, because when we dropped the Coyote in here with the original inner fenders, you couldn't see the dipstick. The fenders came right to the sides of the Coyote. You couldn't even see the sides. So that means a new front end, everything to the outboard, new inner fenders. Now the Coyote fits. You know, I've got a reliable motor. It's about 18 miles to a gallon of gas, and I get home before the ice cream's melted. This is a second generation Coyote. I bought the Coyote and a Tremec 6-speed off an outfit in the Midwest that races monster trucks.
Well, that makes me excited because there's two things that I love: Coyotes and stick shifts. So it's pretty much a match made in heaven for me.
Oh yeah.
Do you know, as far as like horsepower wise, what it's kind of making?
Yeah, I took it to a guy over in Ormond Beach. He's got the same Gen 2 Coyote, and his is at 396 horsepower at the rear wheels. So that's what I'm expecting out of this.
That's awesome, man. That's plenty enough.
Oh yeah.
As far as tuning goes, what is the ECU that you're running? Who tuned it?
Fast Performance in Ormond Beach tuned it, and I'm more than happy with it. Sniper injection on it. Then we put new heads with my name on it. So when I get old and I don't remember, they're on the heads. And it's been around, so I've got some signatures on my signature plate, which was custom made to fit under the hood. Front bumper's tucked. Everything on the front is new. The only thing really left on the car is the A-pillars. Thank God for NPD, because without them, I'd still be looking for parts.
When you started it up to kind of move it around in the garage, it sounded really good. What are you running as far as headers goes and then exhaust running out?
They're shorty headers, and the exhaust is 2.5-inch stainless steel exhaust all the way to the back with Borla mufflers.
Magnum 500s, my favorite wheel ever made. I don't think there's a better one. You can argue with me in the comments, go ahead, you're gonna lose regardless. I have them on my Maverick, I love them on this car. Tell us a little bit about your setup.
They're Magnum wheels made by Curtis Speed out of California. The fronts are 275, 35, 18, and the rears are 335, 30, 18.
I mean, it really just fits this car so perfectly, and I really love how it sits. Tell us a little bit about the suspension setup that you have.
It's a Heights front end, adjustable coilovers in the front and back.
Typically the Mach 1s, they have the badging on there. This looks a little bit different.
The reason I didn't put the badging on it is there's a drip rail runs from behind the front tire, even past the back tire. And I wasn't sure if the aluminum Mach 1 would fit on there. And I didn't want to put any holes in the body, so I went to a graphic guy and I had him make me the decal.
The drip rails I thought looked super unique as well. Can you tell me who made those?
Again, the guy that does my body work said, hey man, we ought to put a drip rail on the bottom to set it off. So I said, go ahead. And when he originally did it, he left them open. And I said, dude, if they're open in the back, they're gonna rust. So they're all sealed, covered piece all the way around, front to back.
I love it, man. And even like the little touch of the door handles. Why did you decide to go ahead and do that?
The door handles, I wanted a super slick body. So these are Kendig door handles. In fact, when I called Kendig to order them, I spoke to his daughter, Brittany, and she told me the price. Then you needed an install kit. And then she says, do you want to pay for chroming? And I go, no. So that's why they're body colored.
Let's walk around to the back and tell me a little bit about this because it's pretty custom back here too.
Yeah, all of this is hand built. I didn't like the egg crate that they had on a 70, so we did away with that, which meant we had to get different taillights, so we built those in. So my buddy, again, he's fantastic with metal. This bumper has a 1/8 gap all the way around, custom made. It was sent out to Advanced Plating Chrome, so it's a one-off chrome bumper.
With all of it being so custom, what made you decide to keep like the factory look of the louvers and the spoiler?
I just think it makes the car look so good, and it just sets it off just right. And you got a little bit of black in the louvers, the wing, and the Mach 1. So I just think it's perfect.
Last but not least, let's talk about the interior, man.
This is a TMI interior. They virtually matched the sports seat that came with the Mustang, but the console is custom. The Clayton Machine window cranks are electric door window.
Oh, I love that.
So it matches my Clayton Machine shifter and my BMI shift knob that my wife brought me. And if you look close, there's the on-off switch because there's no key for this. And my electric brake switch. I like to push to start, and with all these cars, I hate carrying keys around. And then I have the custom steering wheel and custom pedals.
Yeah, I love the steering wheel. It almost gives me like a Trans Am race kind of vibe.
Yeah.
It's like a nice touch to kind of break up the black and the green. And then as far as the gauges go, do you still have the original gauges or what do you have there?
Everything on the dash, the original dash is in the shed. That's a dash from, again, our buddies at MPD, but I had a graphic guy that did the decal wood grain the dash. So that's a black plastic dash with the wood grain on it, and they're Dakota Digital gauges.
I love this thing, man, and I'm so excited to ride in here. So I say we'll get a camera in the car and go for a cruise.
All right,
All right,
got it.
Let's do it. Sounds awesome, man.
Now you know why I don't have the cutouts open.
Yeah, no, totally. I just love Coyote Motors. I love this car in general, dude. This is such a cool build. And I love that you have it as a stick shift. That makes it even cooler. Oh, yeah. Dude, I love it, man.
How's that?
There's nothing better than this. There's nothing better than this, man. For one thing, at least here in Florida, I feel like I don't really see a whole lot of Mach 1s. And then two, definitely don't see the grabber green that often. Honestly, this has got to be like one of the first grabber green Mach 1s I've seen in person, definitely.
And they're getting harder to find.
Yeah, definitely. I'm sure it's crazy, like, driving this now after pulling it out of the barn and seeing what it was 8 years ago, and then even now just having this moment, it's got to be kind of a crazy feeling for you to be able to just cruise in this thing, huh?
Oh yeah.
Like, what kind of goes through your mind opening your garage and seeing this in there all the time?
And you know, the thing is too, people come over and they go, oh wow, look at this garage, you know, and it, you know, it's a combination of a lot of work, but during COVID, that garage saved us. Go out there and play with the cars.
Yeah, definitely. What's cool is that this feels very luxury. Just the ride and like the look
it's
and
not
the
as
feel.
hard as you think.
Exactly. And just the look of everything, it just feels very luxurious. But then when you are on the outside, you're like, okay, this is classic American muscle. Like, it's so
You know, you think
cool.
instead of a t-shirt and sneakers, you can almost go out and drive this in a tuxedo.
100%. I almost feel like in another world, 007 would drive this thing. You know what I mean? Yeah, I haven't even stopped smiling since I got in this passenger seat, man. This is so fun. That does it for this video, guys. If you like this, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more content like this with more hot rods, make sure that you subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you next time.